Hello friends, let's start with the next video series of C++, that is nested class. So as we can see here, when a class is enclosed in another class, it is known as nested class, and this nested class is also known as inner class. This inner class becomes a member variable of the enclosing class. However, the member functions of enclosing class have no special access to the members of the nested class. Even if they want to access the members of a nested class, they will have to create an object of the nested class and then access it. Now, related to class outer and class inner, if this is an example, as we can see that X is a private member of outer class and Y is a private member of inner class. Now, if the inner class members wants to access the outer class private member, it can access, but it has to create an object. Now, as previously we have seen, the private data member is not accessed by the child class also, but here the private member of any class can be accessed to the can be given to the inner class of its own class. So any inner class of its own class can be access the private member. So as we can see here, X can be accessed by creating an object of outer class. So nested class can access private member of the outer class. However, vice versa is not possible. That is, outer class members cannot access the private data members of inner class or private member functions of the inner class. So as we can see over here, that Y is a variable which is a private member of inner class, and if the function of the outer class show function wants to create access the Y variable, which is a private variable of inner class, through an inner class object, it will generate you an compiler error because Y is private in the inner class. Now consider a nested example, class example, when I am having a class outer. Inside the class inner, we have declared one public function, that is sum function, with two parameters, and one show function. Now inside the main function, when you want to access the sum function and show function, since they are belonging to inner class, we create the inner class object and then access it, obj.sum and obj.show. But this will give you a compiler error, and inner class members cannot be directly accessed from the main function. You have to use outer class object for that. So you can have the first option, you can use outer scope resolution operator inner class object. So this is how we can create declare the object of inner class using outer class scope resolution operator, and then use obj to access sum function and show function. So this is the first option. Or the second option to use is create an object of the inner class in the outer class and then access the variables of the inner class. As for example, here if I want to access city, I will have to use obj.city. Now this is the one, and now through main, if I want to access the city, that is a public member function of the inner class or public member of the inner class, through the main function, you will have to create an outer class object. So here person object is being created, ob.name, because name is the variable of person class. And now see that how city is accessed, ob.obj.city. Now city is a member of address class, obj is an object of address class created inside the class person, and ob is an object of person class. So you can access in this way, and their show function is directly the function of person class. That is why we have written ob.show. So accordingly the output is being given. So to access the public members of the inner class from non-member function, there are two options. Okay, first you create the outer class object as outer scope resolution operator inner obj and then access the member of inner class. Or second, create an object of outer class, create an object of inner class inside the outer class like inner obj inside the outer class, and then access the member of inner class using obj.ob.member of inner class. So advantage of nested class is that they can have the access to the private members of the outer class and increases encapsulation and is more readable and maintainable. Thank you for watching the video.